Hi, everyone, and welcome to our very first Simon Sue's Behind the Scenes, where my friends and I take a closer look at the latest episode, chat a little bit about the creative process, narrative, and artistic choices. I'm also hoping to get some guest commentators on, hopefully, some lawyer friends to help break down some of the legal elements in the comic. With me today, I have a couple of friends that I love to brainstorm with and bounce ideas off of. So before we begin, I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Corey. I am one of the magical elves that helps out with environments and other small tasks in the comic. I'm also the person that bounces off ideas, and I'm also the person that gets rejected by ideas.
Rejected by ideas.
Hmm.
Ideas punched you in the face.
Dang
It's
it.
Okay. No,
Let's
that's
keep
okay.
going.
acceptable.
I like
Doesn't
that
matter.
image. It's fine. I like that image.
They already judged me.
All right. I am Shannon. I'm also someone with whom Young will bounce off ideas,
Yeah.
give feedback on thumbnails. I am the namesake for Shannon, the character.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You were the inspiration.
hmm Um, and I don't remember anyone's. Well, I remember names, but I just don't care to use them of characters.
That's okay. The whatever moniker or kind of mnemonic device that you need, as long as they're with you in spirit, that's fine.
All right,
All
and
right.
that's me.
And you guys all know me as Myung, the creator of Simon Sues. So, how this whole segment came about is I love listening to the director's commentary on my favorite films, and I thought it would be kind of cool to do a version of that, but for Webtoons. The only issue is that we're kind of already pretty far into season two, and I didn't want to go all the way back to the beginning. So, what we're going to do is kick it off with the latest episode that posted just recently, which is episode 58. And to start off, we're going to do a bit that I'm going to call Previously On. I just want to give you guys a heads up. This is the first time we're doing it. So it's going to be a little raw. And then you'll see, like, maybe I'll put in some more production value. But anyway, previously on. So I'm gonna have to recap everything up until this point, which is basically all of season two. So hopefully you guys have slogged through season one. And where we left Simon and Haley, our two main characters, off is that there was a bit of a snafu and a falling out between them because Simon made a brash decision and went ahead and summoned a demon and performed a ritual that he didn't have any experience in or doing. And he made an illegal maneuver, which he got punished for. But also, Haley had to pay part of that cost so that he wouldn't incur like the full penalty. So
Oh, Simon.
I know he means well. But because of that, Haley needs to get out of town because she had to give up this sort of protective device that shielded her from this demon that's been hunting her for many, many years. And so she ends up trying to get out of town to flee and run, which is what Haley has been doing all her life. However, events have occurred that bring her back to the city. She needs to again team up with Simon to try to find out how to stop and destroy the demon that's hunting her. And meanwhile, Simon is also kind of shacked up with this mysterious kid who
Shithead.
who you've seen here and there. He's been
Brother,
associating
quote
with demons
unquote.
as well. Yeah, the red-eyed little boy. And so he has kind of made his own offer to Simon, which is basically he will help him navigate these demon laws, but in return, he has to fulfill a promise that's sort of he hasn't given him any details, so it's kind of like this unwritten check. And Simon is like, no way, that's really dumb, why would I agree to that? So so he's been holding out for this entire all season two, but slowly he's discovering that more and more people in the city have also been making deals with demons, and one such victim is this girl named Ellie. And we've met her a couple of chapters before, so there's some type of crime or murder trial that happened shortly before we meet her. And we discover that she has made a deal with a demon and has put a lot of other questionably innocent lives either in jeopardy or they've been murdered as a part of this contract. So that is my not so short summary of all of the events up to episode 58. So at this point, we're just going to go through the current episode and just sort of chat about why certain things were done that way or the inspiration behind some of the scenes, and maybe kind of give a little bit of hints as to what's coming up in the story.
Can we talk about how cinematic this scene is? Look at that.
I
There's
also,
like this like open space. Wait, scroll back
my
up.
God.
Don't go too far.
Oh no. Hold on, I lost my screen. Okay.
These sunbeams are,
And there's
The
like
God
all
rays.
this light.
They're
Yeah,
God-
everybody
We call
loved
them
God
God
rays.
rays.
you know what it reminds me of? What is it? The three of us that went to the Legion of Honor exhibition in San Francisco, and there's like a couple paintings that depict like Mary being impregnated by the Holy Spirit. And the way they show it is this like godly face that just looks like a priest head floating in the sky. And he's
God.
literally
It's
like
a Monty Python.
He's shrieking, mouth open wide, and a beam like this is emanating from his mouth, and he's like shrieking a baby down
He's yelling
down
at
the beam.
you.
He's shrieking the Holy Spirit.
He's
Jesus
yelling you
Christ.
to be pregnant.
Yes.
Ah!
Sorry. Well, anyway, this is actually so I like to take photos of places that I go to on either like vacation, holidays, or I travel a lot for work, and I will incorporate those photos into my comic. And it's actually really funny when people ask me why I'm taking such weird angles of things, because I will get on my back and I'll try to like get a picture of the underside of a chair or something. And somebody will ask me what I'm doing, and I have to explain that I'm like using this as reference for
You're like, I'm an artist. Go away.
Don't judge me.
Yeah, but this is a cathedral that is in the middle of Paris.
I was wondering where this was from.
Yes. So, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of the district where it is, but it's on this beautiful hill, and some of my coworkers and I went inside at night, and there was not a lot of people there, which was perfect for taking reference shots. But
So the
anyway,
sunbeams were definitely added.
and yeah, I had to beef up the the atmosphere with these God rays. So the other thing is I definitely wanted to make it seem like a sanctuary. She's here by herself. She's isolated, kind of like the way demons like their victims.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So of course this is the images in her head of what's happening to her neighbor, which is Chloe. So I actually should give a little bit of a recap of kind of what the murder was about, because that's kind of important. So this poor woman was attacked and murdered by this kind of a vagrant that entered the building.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there were a lot of people around the apartment and heard the commotion and heard her being murdered, but didn't do anything about it because either they thought it was a joke or they thought somebody else was going to do something about it.
Very Kitty. How do you say her last name?
Genovese, I think.
Kitty Genovese story. Bystander apathy.
Yes, so that is exactly the complex or the syndrome or the phenomena. So yeah, that's actually an area of study in a lot of psychology, 101 classes. So they talk about the diffusion of responsibility. But as I was reading more about the case, there was actually other circumstances that kind of explained away why people didn't contact the police, or why the murderer was able to, I believe he stabbed her, then he left. She was in the courtyard for a long time, and then he came back. He returned to finish
I
the
heard
job.
that too. Like the apathy portion was somewhat exaggerated.
Yeah, so I think what had happened was people would come and go and they heard tiny, tiny bits of it. It wasn't like they were witnessing the whole thing unfold from the very beginning. So it wasn't like, I guess a vote of confidence in humanity. It wasn't necessarily like a bunch of people around the building, watching this poor woman die and doing absolutely nothing. Some people only like heard a small scuffle and they left and they didn't see the killer return. They didn't know who was in the courtyard. So
but in this case with Chloe, it happened.
Yeah. In this particular situation, Ellie, who unfortunately made the deal,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say she's so racked with guilt because she did hear the whole thing.
This thump 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 font, is that fairly new to the recent last couple chapters? This kind of distress.
No, I use it here and there. I try to think of ways that I can repurpose this font because I paid for it.
It reminds me of
the truth comes out.
Oh God, what was it that the movie that had two directors, and it was Quentin Tarantino and what's his face, and it had the woman with the machine.
Oh, the leg.
The semi-automatic gun.
Grindhouse.
Oh my God!
It reminds me of like a grindhouse, like some kind of like 70s or.
Yeah, somebody. A really astute commenter, reader had mentioned it was pre-code movies, and I actually had not heard that term before, so I had to go look it up. And it was movies that were done before sort of like censors and
the Hays Code, or isn't it the Hays Code?
Yeah, maybe before those were sort of made official and sort of propagated through all of the film industry. And what was interesting was that some of those pre-code movies were actually very pro, heroines with strong female characters that exacted revenge, but they did have a lot of, like, at the time, what was considered sexual content. Or like a lady showed an ankle.
It's very thrilling.
Yeah. So somebody mentioned that, and I was like, oh yeah, it's either like that, or I was thinking of like those exploitation films that have, some really heinous crime, over the top crime, and then somebody gets revenge by doing like extreme violence.
I'll get them at the prom.
Yeah. Prom revenge should be a whole subgenre of horror films.
Yeah. So she is now heading back to her place, and I kind of want to call this out because I do like to add little details in the backgrounds, and sometimes people will catch them, but there's these curfew flyers that are all over the city.
Hey,
thank you.
You moved it.
Thank you. Yeah. So I just wanted to remind people that the city, and this was done way before COVID. So I put up I kind of had this idea that because of all of the demon killings, that the city would be sort of in this lockdown state and there'd be a nightly curfew.
I like seeing it as a poster because now it's just a shrieking alarm on your phone that a child, an older person, like something, it's just all of a sudden everyone's phone in the vicinity just like shriek.
Okay, can we pause it right here? I just like to ask, is there like a flea market where these are available?
I know, it does look like
audience, doesn't this look very familiar?
This is like something that you get at one of those martial arts like specialty stores.
They pass them out to all the demons, and they're like, give this to whatever.
Yeah, it's a party favor.
Sometimes I wonder if the demons are like,
contract because it's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Like, just use these swords, they're awesome. It's like the guys that buy like sword replicas.
I got him from a wizard.
Do you think like sometimes the sword or these occult things are defective? Like the person,
oh my god, it probably is. I want to say
it's not working. So I just want to talk about really briefly here this webtoon format. So like as you can see, I'm furiously scrolling because one, I'm zoomed in, and two, like I really like the webtoons format because you can add this artificial sense of tension and suspense.
Mm-hmm.
So just by like actively making the user scroll, you are sort of their suspense because they actually have control over
Yes.
this movement.
You have, well, also you as the comic creator have control over what is seen at what time, because like in a traditional comic, like you are seeing everything almost all at once, even if you're not like sure what it means yet.
Yes.
And then you dive into a specific panel, and here the pacing is really, really controlled.
Yeah. So sometimes I have to view this on a device in order to really get the experience, because when I'm making this, sometimes I'll be like really zoomed out and I won't be able to read how things are flowing or coming on the screen, because when I'm drawing, I'm not like slowly scrolling like this to get to the bottom. I'm just like moving around really quickly.
Yeah. Question: is she about to like stab herself right through the chin?
Yeah, this is like
why
style. It's
couldn't she just
a soldier's
like,
death.
I know, but like I'm like, how fast is that compared to just doing it across the jugular?
I feel like that people I've
like,
I don't want to.
I want to say it's for dramatic. Okay, it's for dramatic purposes. All right. No, we're not.
I know.
Yeah,
I look at that,
imagine.
Like, yikes.
I'd imagine any way would be very painful, and depending on, you know, if you are nervous or have never cut flesh before, you're gonna screw up no matter what. So I was gonna add that because like I'm furiously scrolling now, I'm an active participant in this story. So it's kind of like you're causing your own fear, especially in a horror suspense webtoon.
The red doesn't help either.
Yeah. Well, I think that makes it more suspenseful.
Oh yeah. Like, oh, something terrible. And then
there's
Simon.
Wait, this font. Back up.
Wait.
I want to see that on like an energy drink, right?
Thud.
That, not the words, but like the font with the bubbles.
That's what I thought.
Like I want to see someone like guzzle down the energy drink that the font is using this, and they're gonna go Tokyo Drift or something.
Right.
Sansu soda for lawyers.
You'll be turned into this like lawyer in a blue suit running really fast.
Yeah.
Or running badly.
Whoa.
Pause. Can we just like this creep here?
Oh no, he's observing. He doesn't want to get involved because he's like, I'm just gonna let these two battle it out.
We need to insert like a Willy Wonka gif right here.
Yeah, we'll do it in post. He is pretty creepy. He's a creeper. But anyway,
I like that they're still struggling though.
Yeah,
and just watching. He's just like, really.
He's offering no assistance whatsoever.
No, he's just sitting there. I love his stance though. It's so defensive.
Yeah,
he's like, hey,